Milady, perhaps you and I can go to Master Pyland to look at the things in the one-of-a-kind case. Because if he's saying pasties, you're getting some jewelry. See, we tried to save you. If you go and follow my advice and follow Master Connor, you get what you deserve, gentlemen. So, but that would be a midday meal or dinner. And then for supper, what you're likely to have is more pottage! Perhaps you might have a little bit of meat that was given to you by a local lord. For example, a few weeks ago, we did make an oxtail stew. Now, you may turn your nose up at oxtail, which is good. That's what the nobles do. They do not realize it is the most tender meat you will ever have in your life. It is so good.
Do not tell them.
Or we'll never get it again. Aye. So, that is if you are poor. Now, if you are wealthy, for example, like the mayor or a knight or His Majesty, you are going to have 3 meals a day. Your breakfast, where you are breaking your fast, is going to be at least 2 courses with several dishes each. For your dinner or your supper, say tonight, when His Majesty is here for the feast, it is going to be between 3 and 5 courses, each course between 5 and 7 dishes.
I don't have enough fingers and toes for that.
For those of you not good with the maths, that's between 15 and 35 dishes. So, and the way that it is served is you start with whoever is in the center of the table. So when I was the cook for the mayor before he fired me for no good reason...
Oh, I heard about this. It was a very good reason.
Never mind. I would serve the mayor first, because you serve the person of highest rank first in the center of the table. And trust me, the mayor is certainly rank. So then you go down low. You've met him, I see. So this evening, when His Majesty is here, it will be His Majesty and Mistress Jane at the center of the table. Important safety tip. The lady with His Majesty, not Queen Anne Boleyn. She is now Lady Anne Boleyn, and she is currently awaiting...
Residing in a tower, we should say.
Aye, awaiting... You know. So,
she's going to be much shorter in a few hours.
aye, but so Mistress Jane Seymour is His Majesty's favorite, and she will be the one seated next to him. So they get the food first, and then it goes down and it's handed down to the end of the table. So next are the dukes and the duchesses, marquesses and marchionesses, earls and countesses, etc., etc. So you get down to the poor little masters and mistresses at the end of the table. They don't get to eat as well.
You might want to, if you're at that station, you might want to fill up on the bread.
Aye. Well, when I was cooking, it would be picked clean before it got there. We'll see how it does with the mayor's new cook. His Majesty loved my cooking. So, that is the first thing that controls what we eat. The second thing that controls what we eat is, of course, the church. Because the church has divided the year into feasting days.
Feasting days.
Huzzah! And fasting days. Fine. Aye. And so on feasting days, you can eat and drink whatever you want. But on fasting days, you can eat neither flesh, nor fowl, nor anything that comes from them.
Anything that comes from them.
Aye.
Nothing that comes, like eggs.
Nay, no eggs, no milk.
Like not even cheese.
No butter.
No butter?
Aye.
Well, certainly there has to be a loophole, because I just had butter last Sabbath.
Of course there is. Back to the whole money part. See, if you have money, you can pay the church what's called an indulgence, and then you get to not follow the rules.
That is why my mother always sent Allie and me to the butter box at church before the Sabbath, so we could have butter on Sabbath.
See, if you're poor, you do not put any money into the butter box. Because if you put money into the butter box, you would not have any money to buy butter!
Mr. Cecily, you seem to be a bit butter bitter.
Mayhaps a bit. Moving on. So, if you are wealthy, you can get around some of these things, but the rules are no flesh and no fowl and nothing that comes from them on fasting days. However, what the church considers flesh and what the church considers fish is somewhat, what's the word I'm looking for?
Arbitrary.
Arbitrary, indeed. And for that, I bring out our good friend, Weaver the Beaver. Everyone say hi, Weaver. Hi. So our good friend Weaver the Beaver helps us to explain, because when you look at Weaver, you would go, well, obviously Weaver is flesh. We could therefore not eat beaver on a fasting day. But you would be only half right. Because according to the church, while you cannot eat this part of the beaver, you are perfectly welcome on fasting days to eat beaver tail. Why? Because according to the church, it's a fish. Why? Because it swims in the water.